All right, got off work a little early, so I had to head to one of my favorite spots and get some goodies for the guitar situation. So I'm about to head home and play with that. All right, first off, let me show you the Lee Staggs essentials for building a guitar. Primer filler, de-waxed spray shellac, and in this case, we're gonna have some JB Weld quick wood. So that's what I'm gonna fill all the holes in with, not the screw holes, but just all the other holes. What I'm about to do is take some 320 and I'm gonna just scuff this whole thing up to where it's all just like that, flat. All right, you're probably wondering, why are you sanding all this? Well, here you go. So when you sand it down and it's flat, now you can see every imperfection in it. So all that stuff sticks out like a sore thumb. So all these things right here, that's a big old hunk out of it. I have to try and fix that. Big old hunk, somebody dropped it there. You know, all these little nicks and imperfections on the back. So that's what I'm about to take, all those around the edges. So I'm about to go take that JB Weld and try to fill in all these imperfections. So that's the next step. And then we'll let that dry, see what we got. All right, so we're gonna use this quick wood putty. So you break off a little piece and you just take it and you smush it all up till it's the same color and consistency. Then I'm gonna go in all these little spots and start filling all these things in. All right, so looks kind of gross right now, but once it hardens up, I'm gonna sand all that flush. So this stuff is a lot thicker and not as thin as I'd like it to be, so you can't get it really in these spots right here. So the big gouges and stuff, we filled them in, the big problem area, so we're gonna go back and sand those, that one, and then those holes on the back. So I'm gonna try and figure out something else with these other ones. All these little dents and stuff, what I'm probably gonna do is get the machine out and start sanding all that down and try to sand it till it gets nice and smooth again. So that's probably what I'm gonna have to do. So when I get all this dries, I'm gonna go back over it with a sander pretty aggressively and try and just sand all these bumps out and go from there. Because these are just all dents and drop marks and whatever. So we'll try and sand them all out. So I think it'll be fine. Anyway, that's plan B. So plan A failed, or actually we're on plan C. So plan A was fiberglass stuff, that didn't work. Plan B was this stuff, and it's supposed to set up in an hour and be drillable in an hour. So we'll let it sit here for a while and quit messing with it, and then we'll sand it down and come back and try and sand all these problems out. All right, so we lightly sanded her with 80 grit and try to sand all the bad stuff out. So now I see a few that I missed, but now I should be able to put any gouges, should be able to put wood filler in them, and the wood filler will stick to this wood now and be part of it. Whoop, hello. So anyway, so I'm letting this dry right here, and there's another spot I'm letting dry before I go back to sanding. But so now that that's all wompy jawed with 80 grit, I'm gonna go back over it with some I don't know, maybe some Acelex or something, or some 320, and kind of smooth that back out, because that's a lot of stuff for that filler primer to cover up. So that'd be the next step to this, is filler primer, to try and keep working on it and get as smooth as we can. All right, since it's 25% humidity, I'm gonna get that spray, that filler primer. I'm gonna spray this little spot right here, and just to see how well it hides all this stuff, so I know it, have an idea of how much more I need to do. All right, so that's one wet coat right there, so it's wet. So see a little dimple right there, and some swirl marks from the spray. So we're gonna let that sit here and dry, and then we'll hit with another coat. I mean, that's pretty promising though. See, that's what I'm looking for, stuff like that. All right, so here's wet coat number 2. It's a pretty heavy coat, but you can see that some of those spots disappeared. There's a little spot right there. For the most part, a lot of it's gone. So it might just take a couple coats to fix all those scratch marks. So anyway, so that's pretty promising. So we're gonna let this dry before we touch it again, and then we'll go back and play with some of this other stuff. All right, I've let it dry for probably 15 minutes. Other than that little spot, I mean, it's freaking pretty flat. I mean, when you zoom in on it, you're gonna see stuff, but from the naked eye, it looks pretty good. But what I'm gonna do is sand it all again, just to get all these little swirlies out, and try to put some wood putty in all these spots. But I just wanted to do a test to see how it would look. But you know, as you can see, not bad. All right, folks, just got done with basketball practice, and not me, my kid, so I don't play basketball. We got this thing sitting out here letting this primer dry. So this is that filler primer. So now I got this plastic wood here, and I couldn't find my good filler. I looked everywhere. I might go look again in a minute. So anyway, so it was dried out, so I put some water in there. It kind of makes a little paste. So what we're gonna do is take our little paste on our fingers here. We're just gonna go around and like looking for things, looking for imperfections, trying to find stuff that we think needs to be filled in. Like right there's a spot. So we're trying to work something in there. So what we're gonna do is try to fill all those spots in. I'm gonna go hit it with a hair dryer to expedite this process. And then it's still 41% humidity and 64 degrees. So we're right at borderline for spraying stuff. So what I'll probably do is heat this up with the hair dryer and heat the can up a little bit. And I'll make something to screw onto this, like a little piece of board or something like everybody does, and hold it. Because I want to try to get this done and maybe get a good coat of primer on it tonight. That way it can dry tomorrow. And then once it's dry, I can see more imperfections a little bit closer. Anyway, so that's what I'm gonna keep doing and working on. So we're not building rockets here. We're just taking crap and putting it in holes. So that's what we're gonna work on, filling holes. After we fill holes, we're gonna, ooh, that stuff got hard. So this is that JB Weld putty. It says it's drillable, and they didn't lie. I mean, that stuff's hard as a brick. So that's good. It needed to be hard as a brick. So we're gonna work on this now, and I'll come back after I've got it all filled in and see what we look like. Alrighty, so went back, sanded these cracks, sanded this guy that where the strap button went. I tried to sand him nice and smooth, and I might need some more on that. I'm not sure yet, but I tried to get all the big 80 grit scratches out. I built my little holder here, so that'll probably stay on for the duration of the rest of the build. I'm gonna drill a hole up here, so when I get through spraying it, I can just go hang it on that hook over there. That way it can be out of the way. So right now I'm about to wipe it with naphtha, and then I'm gonna hit it with that gray filler primer, probably 2 coats, and let her hang all night, and then come out tomorrow sometime and see how many like actual imperfections I really need to kind of get down to the nitty gritty and fix. So I have a feeling if all these big old sand marks kind of get covered up really nice, it shouldn't be that big a deal. So I did cover up some things with the wood putty, little nicks here and there. So anyway, so I'm gonna wipe it with naphtha and get to spraying in just a minute. We'll show you what it looks like when we finish spraying it. All right, so I've gotten my can hot, warm, because it's 63 degrees. So I'm gonna hold it over here so all this stuff kind of falls in the trash can. Anyway, we're going to start spraying some coats. Stuff goes on really thick. You need to kind of watch what you're doing. thing kind of gets heavy in this one hand here. Guess that's why everybody makes stands to hold them, huh? Woo. Not doing my normal like straight across pattern and all that stuff because there's so much curvature on this thing, and I'm trying to make sure I get it right. So I can do this. I know there's a problem down here where these buttonholes were, so we'll just have to deal with that as we get them, as we get to it. Like this is what I'm laying the foundation to see if there's any major imperfections that I need to fix. So this will help close all the gaps, if you will. I don't know if y'all can see that from there, but I mean, just this looks so much better than it did. I mean, this thing was beat up pretty bad. So I'm gonna go hang this, let it dry, and then we're gonna hit it again. All right, so we're gonna do coat number 2. It's dry. I'm not gonna video it because it's the same thing that I just did. So you get the gist, but see those things I need to fix? It just really highlights the problems. So that's what I wanted. So I wanted the major stuff. So anyway, some of it's pretty smooth, nice. I mean, that looks really good considering it was a big chunk of missing wood. So anyway, here we go, spray time 2. Okay, so that's heavy coat, heavy coat, number 2. So we can see little wrinkles in there. I don't know what I'm gonna do to get that out, but let's cross that bridge when we get there. But that, it's looking pretty flat. Pretty flat. And considering this is going to go to a kid who might not take the best care of it, we're not looking for 100% perfection, but we want pretty close. So anyway, so that's where we're at. From that crappy looking red, beat up looking guitar, it's looking pretty dang nice. So we're gonna paint it gold. So it's gonna be an antique gold by Rust-Oleum, because I know Rust-Oleum is compatible with 2K Clear. So that's what we're looking at. So this is gonna be wrapping up this part of the video. We'll do another part later. All right, so don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. If you find any of this stuff useful, click the bell for notifications so you can see what's going on. Man, too much paint here. Anyway, so don't forget, 1,000 subscribers, we're giving away a kit guitar. We're just hit 400, so thanks everybody, appreciate that.